The sum of the circumference of a circle and the perimeter of a square is 32. Find the dimensions of the circle and square that produce a minimum total area. So x is going to be the length of the square. That means all sides are x. And the circle has radius r. Now the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. And the perimeter is going to be 4x. We're given that the sum of the circumference and the perimeter is 32. And we want to minimize the total area. So the area of the circle is pi r squared. The area of the square is x squared. So the total area here will just be pi r squared plus x squared. Now in order to minimize this, we have to use a substitution. And you want to use the equation that we're given over here. So we can either solve for r or x. I'm just going to solve for r. So I'm going to subtract both sides by 4x. I get 2 pi r equals 32 minus 4x. R is going to be 16 over pi minus 2x over pi, which is just 16 minus 2x over pi. Now we're going to plug that into this equation for r. So you have 16 minus 2x over pi, and then whole thing squared, and then plus x squared. Okay, so 16 squared is 256, and then 2 times 16 is 32, times 2 is 64, and then plus 4x squared. I can simplify one of the pi's in the denominator. So that'll just be pi and then plus x squared. Now I can gather all my x squareds. So I have 1x squared coefficient here, and then I have 4 over pi. Now for x, I have negative 64 over pi. And then for the constant, it's 256 over pi. So now I got my area function in terms of only x. In order to minimize this, I want to use the trick that x is going to be opposite of b over 2a. In this case, b is going to be the coefficient of x. And then a is just going to be 1 plus 4 over pi. The two negatives will make it positive, so that's 64 over pi. And then I'm just going to distribute the 2, but actually I'm going to cancel out the 2 here. So that should be 32 and 1. So this is 32 over pi, and that's 1 plus 4 over pi. I'm going to multiply top and bottom by pi just to get the pi out of the denominator. So I get x is equal to 32 over pi plus 4. Now I can plug that into the equation over here. So r is 16 minus 2. And then x we said was 32 over pi plus 4. So that's going to be 16, and then I'm going to distribute the 2, so it'll be negative 64 over pi plus 4. That's going to be all over pi. I'm going to get a common denominator with 16, so that means I'm going to multiply top and bottom by pi plus 4. So it's 16 times pi, and then 16 times 4. That's going to be all over pi plus 4. Minus 64 over pi plus 4. That's going to be all over pi. Now the 64s are going to cancel. So 16 pi is left at the top. It's going to be over pi plus 4, and that's all over pi. The pi all the way at the bottom is going to cancel with this pi. So I'm going to be left with 16 over pi plus 4. And that's going to be r. So r is 16 over pi plus 4. x is 32 over pi plus 4. And that's my final answer.